I'm going to look at transport bar controls now in this tutorial. Now, like many functions within Vegas Pro 12, as we've seen a few times already in this course, we can access the transport bar in 3 different ways. Now, regardless of it being empty at the moment, because I don't really need to use it, with our trimmer window here, well, this has transport panel buttons at the foot of the trimmer viewing area. Now, I'm sure on the whole most of these transport controls will be familiar to you. It has to be said that most of them are self-explanatory. Play, for example, pause and stop, etc, etc. That said, there are a couple of other different buttons here that are specific to this trimmer window, but we'll get to this as the course progresses. Just for this tutorial, I simply want to look at the standard transport bar controls that we can see over here in the main monitor window. And as I've just spoken about with the transport bar controls in the trimmer view there, then here, under the main project view, we get 10 different options. And they are, as I mentioned a moment ago, self-explanatory if you've ever used transport bar controls with any other type of program before. But, just in case you haven't, then do notice that by rolling your mouse over any of these buttons provides you with a tooltip, indicating what that particular button does. Okay, easy enough. Now, additionally notice that they're all duplicated below the timeline too. Look down here at the foot of the user interface, and they are, as I say, just duplicated, so you can either activate them by clicking them down here or by using the main project window. Now, by the way, the 2 sets of transport controls work in parallel. If I click on any of the buttons either down here or in the main monitor view, you'll see the instruction is, as I say, tied together. So if I clicked on play on either of the play buttons down below there or up here, then the CTI would move along in our main monitor view and on our timeline. And so, as I say, they are tied together. Now, this is not applicable to the trimmer view though. The trimmer view's transport controls work independently. So, just to illustrate how easy it is to operate the controls, then we'll move across to the 4th one there, and the 4th one is the play button I mentioned a moment ago. So I'll click on this now and we'll just quickly watch through this short video clip. Okay, the clip played from beginning to end there. Now, seeing as I haven't got the cycle button activated, and that's one of those buttons, then I can just easily click on this button, the Go to Start button. Okay, now we know we're at the start of the clip, because here where it says frame, it registers as 0, and we can see our CTI here at the beginning of the timeline. Notice, as you roll over a button, you see tooltips popping up, and with these tooltips you also get the shortcut to access the same transport button function in brackets there. So by clicking play again, I can play this clip from the beginning, and if I want to pause it, then of course clicking on pause there pauses our playback, and then clicking on it again starts the playback, and of course it starts from exactly where we paused our playback. Okay, that's pretty much it really, but just before I go, let me point out these last 2 buttons here. Now these buttons nudge playback 1 frame at a time. So for example, this last button nudges the playback head, the CTI, the current time indicator, it nudges it forward by 1 frame, simply by clicking on it. And do notice down here now, where it says frames, that we can see that we have advanced by 1 frame. I'll do it again. Okay, now we've advanced by 2 frames. Let's do it one more time, and of course this takes me to 3 frames into the video clip. Simple enough. Now to reverse this process, we use this button just to the left, and this will take me back in time by 1 frame at a time. Incidentally, this video clip has been filmed using an HD format resolution, and the dimensions of this format, as you can see here, are 1920 by 1080. However, the viewing area here that we can see isn't at 1920 by 1080. This is known as the display size, but we can see exactly the display size just down here next to where it says display. And if we want to quickly adapt this, then just roll over the edge there, this panel division or separation line, this divider, left click on it and drag to the left, and as a result it has enlarged our movie clip footprint here in the main monitor panel within our user interface, and the size is reflected now down on our display. Okay, I'll do it again, I'll go that way this time. Okay, great stuff. So that was a quick run through then the transport bar controls that we find in 3 particular places within Vegas Pro 12.